What up, folks? I'm back once again doing another video game review, and I'm reviewing Metroid Zero Mission. And this is a remake of the NES classic Metroid, just which stars Samus Aran as the protagonist, and you're pretty much taking out the space pirates trying to take over the galaxy with Metroid. And the premise is practically the same as the original on the NES, so don't have to worry about any like big surprises in the game in terms of the premise or whatever. The thing with with this remake, they did like add an extra stage at the end where you have to use stealth to like escape the space pirates because you pretty much lost after you beat Mother Brain. You lose your power suit and all the items that you pretty much collected through the course of the game. Then it's like with there's a section where a statue challenges you to a test, and after you pass it, you get everything back full power, even the stuff, even the items you couldn't use like early on in the game, you're able to use it now. Because like items like missiles, super missiles. I don't think there's super missiles in Metroid Zero Mission, but you use pretty much all the items that you did collect. So you regain them and pretty much escape. Um, Plus, do- while you escaping from the planet, from Planet Zebes, you will meet up to what you will fight this robotic Ridley. When you first hear him come in that particular room, it sounds like that. It sounds like this robotic really needs a serious oil change or something like that, you know. So once you defeat this robotic Ridley, you pretty much escape and beat the game after that. Plus, plus, if you complete and beat Metroid Zero Mission, you're able to unlock the original Metroid to play. So it pretty much has all the passwords and stuff that come along with the original Metroid. Plus, another thing is that with Metroid Zero Mission, it all the gripes that people had about the original Metroid were addressed in this particular remake, like the cheap enemy placement, the number of enemies that's in a certain section, uh, some of the gameplay issues, mainly like you couldn't like shoot like diagonally, you couldn't shoot down, or even the part where you start in the original Metroid where you had not 30 units of health instead of 99. Plus, you plus there was no map in the original, so it took you pretty much for a while to complete it. It took most people who were not familiar with the game at first like 2 or 3 hours to complete. Yeah, these are like particular gripes that were addressed in this particular game, and these gripes practically don't exist in Metroid Zero Mission. And to be truthful, the Nintendo did a pretty outstanding job with Metroid Zero Mission here, to the point that I can honestly say this is probably the best Metroid handheld game that I've ever played. Some might say, some will say, well, the Metroid Fusion is the best handheld game that Nintendo made as the Metroid series. And truth be told, anybody who says that Metroid Fusion is the better of the two games. It pretty much has like legitimate reasons for saying that that one is the better Metroid handheld game instead of Zero Mission. So, but I'm gonna get into the reasons to why Metroid Zero Mission is pretty good. Now we'll get into a review of Metroid Fusion at a later time. Now, the thing about Metroid Zero Mission, and this can be said about Metroid Fusion also. The graphics, the level design, and the map design, and the gameplay come from Super Metroids. So so they are inspired by that game. It just shows that Super Metroid did set standards within the Metroid series to the point that both Metroid Zero Mission and Metroid Fusion uses the same type of graphics, level design, and gameplay as Super Metroid. And this is why people will like these two particular games. Pretty much the graphics and the level designs are top notch. I'll say it again, they are top notch and they go perfectly with the capability of the Game Boy Advance. It's kind of like this is one Metroid Zero Mission is one of the games to show what the Game Boy Advance can do in terms of that games. And the gameplay again is pretty much based off of Super Metroid, but it holds its own as well. You know, it's smooth. There's really no like hiccups or whatever. No like gripes that I had with this particular gameplay. And honestly, the music, the soundtrack, is pretty much a remix of the original Metroid for NES, and man, they outdid themselves with this soundtrack. And I can honestly say this is the best aspect of Metroid Zero Mission, the best aspect of it. And in the bonus stage that they pretty much added to it, I wouldn't call it a bonus stage, but it's like an extra spot that they threw in, which is a nice touch, where you have to actually you actually escape in one of the space pirates ship, you know, and after you beat the game in a certain amount of time, you will see Samus out of the power suit and the entire completion and the item percentage, like you do with other games in the Metroid series. So I can honestly say that this is an excellent game. The only gripe that I've heard about concerning this game is Metroid Zero Mission is practically the shortest game in the series, but truth be told, even though it may be like the shortest game to complete, it's still an awesome game, and it's like the amount of the length of time to complete the game is not enough to drive people away or say, not only that, it's not like big enough to turn people off, you know. So that's the thing. As far as the scores is concerned, I will give it a 10 out of 10. A score that I like rarely give out for games for like different reasons, but with all these they did. The reason I would say I would give it a 10 out of 10 because of the fact that Nintendo outdid themselves with this game, and this is one of the best remakes that was ever made. You know, and the only other games that I can think of this that's as good as Metroid Zero Mission in terms of remakes are concerned is uh, Resident Evil for the GameCube and Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Twin, Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes for the GameCube. Both of those games are not only remakes, but they're GameCube exclusives. I can honestly say that Metroid Zero Mission and Metal Gear Solid Snake, not Solid Snake, but pretty much Resident Evil for GameCube, Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes for GameCube, and Metroid Zero Mission, in my mind, are the top three remakes of all time. And I'm pretty sure there's like other like remakes that's good, but I don't think there's none that can top those three, especially Metroid Zero Mission. That is like my opinion on the whole matter. So with that being said, if you like this review or if you're a fan of Metroid Zero Mission, don't hesitate to mention it in the comment section. If there's any other games within the Metroid series that you like, don't hesitate to mention it in the comment section. And if there's any other remakes that are just as good as Metroid Zero Mission or Resident Evil and Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, don't hesitate to mention that either. If you like this video, don't hesitate to thumbs it up. Don't forget to subscribe. This is your boy Big Mike 5989 signing off.